It took me a little bit of time to get this sorted, but we are finally sorted. Just waiting for people to come in now. Notifications has just gone out. Just waiting for people to come into the chat. It may be early in the afternoon, but a lot of people go live at night time, so I thought I would give this afternoon a shot, because some people want to watch things in the afternoon, because usually live streams are pretty scarce in the afternoon. There's 2 people on. There's 2 people watching at the moment. I'm just waiting for people to come into the chat. Welcome to the 2 people that are watching in the background. Could be watching on the television, could be watching in the background, don't want to chat, that's fine. If you want to get involved in the chat, you're very welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the use of paranormal equipment in paranormal investigations. Lately it's been a controversial subject, so I thought I would. Elizabeth's in the house, and Above Paranormal is somewhere in the house. Show. Afternoon, folks. Hello. Above Paranormal and Elizabeth is in the house. Anybody that doesn't know Above Paranormal, Above Paranormal do very good live streams in the evenings, and they cover a lot of different subjects. And you know, if you haven't got them on your list of subscriptions, maybe you could consider subscribing, because it's very, very interesting, you know. Nigel Woods, good afternoon. Elizabeth, good afternoon. Middle of doing a new channel intro, just waiting for the Anne Rees is in the house. Anne Rees is a very good supporter of the channel and supporter of many other channels as well. Today I just wanted, I wanted to do a test, because I haven't been live in a little while, and I just wanted to try out this new setup and that. I've been working on it all morning and nothing was working, but I fiddled around and got the thing to work. No problem, Brett. Really enjoyed all the streams. It covers a lot of things, you know. Actually, you're welcome to come up on the chat if you wish. I am going to. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but people that come up on the stream below, I have to actually accept them. So there is the link. What I wanted to talk about is, lately, you know, there's channels coming on here, and they're putting down ITC and, you know, Spirit Box and the use of equipment and that. And I just wanted to see what other people's thoughts were on the subject. Usually you get this trend every so often where a paranormal team or paranormal group on YouTube messes up, and then all of a sudden the equipment that they use is then classed as not valid, you know, not good practice, you know, when, you know, the matter of fact is those people faked evidence. It wasn't actually the equipment. So they start scrutinise the use of spirit boxes, REM pods, K2s, the whole lot, And my personal opinion is, I think it's the ITC. It's a quick scapegoat for some people to throw the book at and say, spirit boxes is rubbish and all the rest of it. I was on a stream a couple of nights ago, and I was absolutely shocked at they just complete we done tests and everything, and our opinion is that spirit boxes are absolutely crap, and we're not going to use them anymore. It's gone. It's just gone. I think it's it's gone way out of hand, and it goes into a kind of a season. Every so often this comes up. A lot of them have grown channels from using these types of equipment. Makes you wonder what the motives are. Yeah, I don't completely understand it. When they used spirit boxes and got great responses, and we do get great responses from spirit boxes. Now, other researchers don't like, some of these older researchers, they don't like using the method of scanned radio on that, and would prefer using a single frequency on a shortwave band. But we use the scanned frequencies, and yes, the background support is radio on that, but at the end of the day, we are still getting responses. And actually, I was on another stream, which is a very popular stream that happens once a week, where it says, these curse words. I says, what about the curse words that comes out? And hello, Elemental Encounters, you're very welcome. Andy and Becky, Elemental Encounters, if you haven't got Elemental Encounters, please consider subscribing as well. But this other stream, there's two people in it, and they stream every week, and they came out with a comment, we don't want to be using spirit boxes and all that crap and everything. And I says, well, what about the swear words and all the rest of it? That could be pirate radio stations. Like, I was trained in radio communications, and if you were a pirate radio station, the last thing you're going to do is start swearing on the frequencies, on the airwaves, because if you're a pirate radio station, you want to kind of blend in with everybody else, so you're not going to swear and stuff. So I don't know where all this is coming from. We've had issues with two other investigators in the past where they faked evidence. One of the incidents, the bone in the wall and all the rest of it. All of a sudden, manual sweep radios is a big no-no, because that particular person used a Tesco radio. And to me, a manual sweep radio is just as good as a automatic sweep radio. It's just a different. It's just that you have to use your hand, and people are saying, the reason why he's got the manual thing is because he can twiddle his responses. There's no way that you can twiddle little responses from a manual sweep radio. Elizabeth, spirit boxes are good if you use correctly, Samantha, and I have used and got some good responses with the K2 meters and good reliant answers to questions that I have asked. Yeah, I mean, like, there is people out there that, can use them properly, but we all have to start somewhere. And sometimes people misunderstand communication with radio voices and stuff, and that is understandable, but people do make mistakes. It doesn't mean that the piece of equipment is flawed, Chris Williams is in the house. Hello, Chris. How are you? I just decided I would come on. Nobody seems to come on in the afternoon, so I decided I would come on. I haven't been live in a while. We were discussing if anybody wants to come up on the panel and speak, I left a link in the chat. I shouldn't really be doing it, but when somebody comes up in the panel, they are in a pre-box below, and I can accept them or reject them if I want. So if anybody wants to come up, they can. And it would help me out because I'm a bit nervous. I haven't done this in weeks. But, people have, there's these teams that are saying, oh, forget about the equipment, just go in with your camera and go in with your audio and stuff like that. If people want to do that, that is absolutely fine. But the fact that some of these people are criticizing ITC and devices, it isn't right. And very often we get around to these kind of little seasons where people are criticizing other people because of their methods and that. And at the end of the day, nothing in the paranormal community and in paranormal research has got 100% concrete do's and don'ts, because a lot of it is based on belief, a lot of it is based on trial and error. Yes, our devices have flaws in it, so is everything else in the paranormal. Just putting up some of these. I like putting up these things in the chat. It's easier to read, and you can see the thumbnails a little bit better, But yeah, it's been a while. But I left the link. There, and if anybody wants to come up and chat, you don't have to turn on the camera if you don't want to. But if you want to join the conversation, that's absolutely fine, and that. But yeah, I haven't been live in a couple of weeks because I'm actually been very sick. I'm still not great, so yeah. Got this new setup here. I think it's a background for wedding photographs or something, but I didn't want it in dark, I just thought it was pretty cool, Oops. But yeah, there's 10 in the house. Very, very grateful for everybody that came in. Another thing I wanted to do, wanted to thank everybody for the growth in the channel. It's been an average about 80 subscribers a month for the last couple of months. I wouldn't mind, but I haven't done as much as I did in the past. And I just want to thank everybody. The channel just got monetized last week, and I want to thank everybody for that little step that I was able to take with the channel, because I didn't think I was going to get anything more than about 200 people. Monetization doesn't mean that I will be basing the channel on making money. It is the way Paranormal Investigations are done is going to stay the same. It's going to stay truthful. It's not going to be like a lot of these other channels where money starts getting involved, money starts becoming the priority, and they start making horror films which are complete and utter fiction, and people thinking that some of these major dramatic events are real, when it's all to attract customers, you can say. And if I wanted to make money from this channel, I would use other content to do that. I think whatever equipment you use, the validate is the key. That makes sense. My head is screwed. Elemental encounters, simply for me, it's about structure. I like to try and get visual, audio, I get noises, EVPs over camera, REMs, K2s, if they play if, and finish off with a spur box to finalize, hoping it all matches up. Yeah, exactly. And K2s do get a bit of a rap, but I find them a very good sort of, it's a communication tool that we offer to what we're communicating with. And if they choose to use it, they can use it. And sometimes they don't. That is fine. And when you ask for responses and you ask for a number of responses and you get reactions to a number of responses, that is pretty good. And I don't see how people, are putting down these methods. Yes, they're not 100% perfect, but there's nothing in the paranormal that is. Some of these channels that say, right, the only thing we're going to use is a camera and a recorder and that, we're going to do knocking and that. What's to say that some of this knocking is other factors, when you ask for knocking responses, the thing that you knocked on is that too. And there's nothing wrong with using electronics to do that, to use as a tool for communication. If they can use it, well and good, and I think it should not get the stick that it's getting. It's a lovely background. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. I didn't want anything dark, because if it were dark clothes, and I probably would just blend in, I accept the fact that spirit boxes are extremely prone to pareidolia, Sam, but when you are getting clear, intelligent responses that people different distances from the box hear and agree to them, on them. Yeah, I mean, like, it is very much prone to pareidolia because human voices is used as the background audio support, and a lot of the older researchers don't like using the Hack box and the PSP7 because of the fact that there's human voice audio support. But using spirit boxes over a period of time, you can decipher what is radio and what is a response. And as we all know, we're not looking for just one response. We're looking for a number of different responses. It's just some of these channels will come on and say, this is shit and this is crap and this is not very good and we're not going to do this anymore. And we advise anybody who's paranormal investigator not to use this method anymore because it's not very good. It's not. It's just, people are entitled to their personal. People have their have personal opinions, and that is fine. But to put down other people, and that's what's been happening. That's what's been happening, lately, and it isn't right. Oh dear. How do you feel about ITC apps? I've used the Paratech a couple of times. Haven't had much success with it, but I have had interesting responses. But apps, like everything else, it's got its good points and bad points, just like conventional electrical equipment. The problem we have is the App Store is flooded with ghost hunting apps, spirit box apps, and the like. And to decipher which is good and which is bad is very, very difficult, because some of these apps don't work. Some of these other apps are made by paranormal investigators and ITC researchers, but to decipher which one is which is very, very difficult to people that are not familiar with some of these other ITC researchers. So I have a couple of apps on my phone. I don't generally use them. I don't use them myself, but I have one or two apps that I would try now and again, you know. One of those apps is Live Host Box, where it basically is like a radio that's on all the time, and you can tune into it through this app. You know, it's an experimental tool like anything else. I just choose not to use them generally in paranormal investigations, because I have a preference, and that preference is hack radios, you know. But if people want to use them, that is their choice. You know, everybody has their own journey in the paranormal field. But to simply just completely put someone down because they're using a method that they don't agree with, you know, it's just it's sometimes a little bit silly, you know. The thing is that ITC is all about experimentation, and what doesn't work one session might work another session. So many ponderable factors. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you could go into I have used the Radio Shack 12-587, and it is nicknamed the Holy Grail, and people say that it works absolutely fantastic. But I find that in certain locations it's prone to static and interference, and I can't use the box. I have to go back to using a Roberts or a Texan PL660 or something like that in those particular locations. In other places it's fine, you know. So I have different spur boxes, and some of them work fantastic in one location, and not in others, you know. It's what you believe. All about opinions and what you believe. Yeah, but I mean, like, what some of these people are doing is putting you down because you use a certain piece of equipment. And the thing is, some of these paranormal channels that have messed up in recent times, it is not only them that get scrutinized, it's the methods that they used. For instance, people like Proven Demons, who use a manual sweep radio. Actually, Proven Demons is very, very good with a manual box. It's just that he wants to get, you know, he wants to get the money, and he wants thousands and thousands of likes and stuff like that, and he wants that excitement, and that's why some of these stunts have been pulled. But actually, you know, in the past, he was a very good paranormal investigator and very, very good with a manual sweep spur box. You know, I have one myself, and it's a good box because the fact you don't have to turn it very far, but you have to. And there's a lot of practice, because it's not like other tuned manual boxes where you have to turn a good bit to get from one channel to the next. This one is slight turn, you change the frequency, so you have to train your hand to move at a certain speed, you know. What a lot of people forget. Original ITC involved white noise generators that didn't use any radio, but still the voices came. Yeah, that's a experimentation that I started doing when I was 16 years old, after a conversation after class with my science teacher, when he showed me a VHF tape of Marcello Bacci. And I went all crazy. I went home and I got an old car radio in our garage, and I made a little box and a little speaker and everything. And I actually was able to wire a microphone through the radio where I could talk to it, and that. And I spent a couple of years messing around with that with very, very little success. And then my uncle was into amateur radio, and he was doing similar experiments with amateur radio bands. So I was messing around with that for a while, but then I got fed up, you know, and it's only sort of coming back around now. But I'll show you. That is my radio I use for shortwave bands, because we have how many? 9 different shortwave bands. You know, there's a lot of shortwave bands on that, so I use that for messing about with single band, single frequencies. But it is very, very tedious and very, very hard. I've had very, very little success with it. But some of these older researchers, like Dr. Annabella Cardoso and that, you know, to her, that is the way to use a spirit box. She doesn't believe in these hacked radios and stuff like that. But I have done this on the side, and it is extremely hard. But one of the things that I thought was quite interesting was, do you know, we have these the Panasonic DR60, which has this internal noise, which is believed to be used to make voices for EVPs. The other method of doing this is using a good quality recorder and external noise. So when you're doing an EVP, trying to get EVPs and stuff, to have this white noise of a radio in the background to try and achieve your EVPs that way. That means that external noise is controlled, unlike the uncontrolled internal noise, which is in the DR60, which you don't know what kind of noise is going to come out, and sometimes it comes up with false positives, and sometimes what coming out of those low bit recorders is growling in that, and it sounds very sinister, when in fact it is the internal noise that is warping the sound, you know. Thought they only know to explore. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of people that they don't explore, or they don't investigate themselves, but are very much big into the paranormal in what other people do. That's good too. I love my K2. Yeah, the K2. I use my K2. I don't use my K2 for measuring a measuring EMF as such, because they've got the flashy lights and that. I use this. I have a little attachment that I've stuck onto the back of it, where I can mount it on a tripod and that, and I can use it as a trigger object, and I use it more so as a trigger object and a communication device. If I wanted accurate readings, I would use another or digital EMF reader, or the tri-feed meter or something like that, or some of the analog EMF meters and that. But the K2s are very, very good for communication, you know. Never heard any voice coming over white noise, even tested frequencies. Yeah, I've had one response years ago, and some of these older researchers, they have great results. Sometimes sometimes they are available for the public, very often not. And I would love to get into that, but the fact I've got very, very little results from it makes me not do it in a paranormal investigation that I'm recording for YouTube. Maybe I might start doing one or two of them, but it is extremely difficult. But apparently it does work. But our hack radio still work, even if it is human voices in the background. It's just that there's so many people that do these spurt boxes, and they mistake radio voices as responses, and sometimes that method gets a bad name. But there's all sorts of excuses why we get curse words in our radio responses. But to have an excuse like, oh, some of these amateur radio stations curse, they're not going to curse. Most of them are not going to curse. They want to stay under the radar. They want to keep away from the attention so they can broadcast longer. For question sessions that involved only 2 responses, like yes or no, that's what I use mine for, actually, yes. And actually, teams that I've worked with before, they sometimes have 2 K2s, and they use one for yes and one for no, and they've had responses from those as well, which is absolutely amazing. 1 K2 for yes and the other K2 for no, which is pretty amazing. It's what works for spirits, and that is exactly that. Does our electronic equipment make it easier for them? It's possible. It is possible. If you haven't got a physical body and you're making a knocking noise, that must take up a lot of energy to do that. So maybe manipulating electronics is an easier way for them to communicate. I don't know. There's no 100% answers to any of this. That's the thing. Yep, it's totally up to any they go about it, but they must not express an opinion to sway the public's view due to popular and subconscious when smaller and getting results. Yeah, I mean, like, yes, we all have our personal opinions on certain pieces of equipment, and we choose to use certain pieces of equipment. We used to choose not to use other pieces of equipment. But it's wrong to put down somebody else because they're using that piece of equipment and they're in the learning process. Let them learn, whether the piece of equipment is good or not. And that's what being a skeptic is. Being a skeptic doesn't mean that you disregard everything, yeah, we seem to go into these kind of seasons with the paranormal community, dowsing rods for communication. I've used dowsing rods very, very little, and when I do, I get this tingling sensation through the rods. There is something happening there that people say that the dowsing rods can't be manipulated. They can be to a certain degree. You can see some people that they slightly, you can see them slightly turning their hands and that. But in general, there is something going on there that the rods are being used, whether it's our bodies or external spirit energy using those. There is something there, there's something transmitting, because very often the person that's using those will get that tingling sensation through the metal rods, you know. Audio sounds different when comparing to other hardware, like laptops and phones. We all hear different stuff. That's exactly right, actually, too. Sometimes tones and pitches can be different, and people can hear different things with that, you know. Actually, there's some people use their laptops as a audio recording device. I'm not a big fan of the SLS camera, but I accept they work in some situations. You have to apply multiple types of equipment working in tandem for validation. Yeah, I mean, like with equipment, if you have a piece of equipment backed up by another, it's very, very good. The SLS camera, I've done 2 videos. One where I think possibly I got a response in the sitting room. The second one was pure and utter bull, because I done the video, I did put it out, and the reason why I left it out is because at the end of it, I says, you know, folks, you know what's happened there? The camera is mapping into the end of my couch, and that's what I think it is, because I wasn't getting responses. You know, if you say, you know, if that is you, can you raise your hand and wave to me and that? But I have seen investigators with the other team that I worked with, and actually the first investigation that I ever was involved with, one of the investigators says, "Can you wave at Samantha?" Next thing, and I was going, "Fucking hell!" You know, I was looking behind the camera. I says, "Who the fuck is there?" Like, and there was nothing there. So, you know, but the SLS camera can map onto a lot of different things and make it out to be a figure. And the question I have about it is, if we believe that spirits move around, in a lot of these cases with the SLS camera, why is the figure not moving from the spot that it's in? You know, but we do have some little, you know, we've had success with waving and movement, but you need a couple to validate it. Really, you need a couple of responses, one after the other. But it's very prone to mapping into doorways, staircases, pieces of furniture, all sorts. You know, Paranormal Tech is in the house. Hello, Paranormal Tech. You're very welcome. We ghost emoji and a little thumbs up. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't done this in weeks. SLS camera again, yeah. The thing about it is, well, you know, these ghost hunting companies where some people, when they don't know any better, they're even buying recorders from ghost hunting companies. A recorder is a voice recorder. You can get it in the office equipment. It's the same, it's a recorder, you know. But the SLS camera, I bought mine in a shop called CEX, which sells second-hand computer and console games, and that's where I got mine for £15. So this, you know, people selling them on eBay, saying it's SLS camera, and selling them for hundreds of pounds. You know, £200, £300, £400, and sometimes even more. It's basically it's a Kinect camera for the PlayStation, or is it the PlayStation? It's the Xbox, with brackets that they bought on eBay to push their tablet on. You know, it's not as expensive as a lot advertised on eBay. You know, just a bit like the REM pods, which I wouldn't buy a real REM pod. I only a couple of weeks ago held a real REM pod in my hand, and I was going, I'm going to pay 160 quid for that. You know, I was saying, no, it's very, very light, so the mechanism must be very, very small. But I found that these door handle alarms that do exactly the same thing for £4.20 when modified, you know, and you don't even have to modify them if you don't want to, you know. Like I have another type of REM pod that was made by Paraforce, and one day the bulb fell out of it. It went into the casing and that, and I had to open it up. And when I opened it up, I got a real shock. I paid £110 for this thing, and it was glued. The circuitry was glued to the casing. It wasn't even screwed together properly, you know. Philip, hello, Philip. Hope you are all well, and hope you are all getting on great with your new house and that. Philip and Caroline and the family just moved into a new home, and it seems to be a lovely place. Like 15 people in the chat. I'm nervous if anybody wants to come up on the panel here with a copy. If anybody wants to come up on the chat here, the link is there. Just coming up now. Kick the cat. What a name. Live ghost box is no more. It's gone now. Shame, really. Was live ghost box something to do with Steve Holte, or is that what his name was? You know, yeah, I have the app on my phone, but I haven't used it in a while, so I don't know if it works. You know, and when you go onto the app, you can see how many people are actually logged into the system, you know. But basically what you're logging into is actually a scanned radio, you know. You're just tired. Afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome to the chat. I've got 17 people in here. 17 people. You can't do a couple of short experiments over a period of few short hours, then start claiming you have definitely debunked something. Absolutely. I mean, like, it takes a long time. It takes a period of you know, months and years, and putting all that information together to come to a conclusion. The equipment we use is far from perfect. We all know this, but it does work. It does work in certain conditions, and you know, to actually just say, you know, these people, oh, I don't watch these people anymore because they use too much equipment and stuff like that. Yes, use your instincts, go in and get a feel for the place, call out and stuff like that. But the use of equipment, it aids, it's offering another form of communication if they wish to use it. Sometimes they don't, and that's just the way it is. Yes, they put other people videos down and call out equipment. They use disagree and debunk. Yet still leave. Double standards. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if this is a kind of a power hungry thing, you know, debunking other people's methods to make themselves feel that they're experts in that. Oh, what about paranormals in the
Give me a bit chilly. I'll put the heater on a bit. Hi,
Hello.
Sam.
Hello, how are you?
Hiya. Can you hear me okay?
It takes the less of the stress off me here. It's great when there's somebody else it's great when somebody else is in the thing because it makes a better conversation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you know? But everybody, Brett here from Above Paranormal, he's been doing live streams for the last while, and they're absolutely fascinating because we start off with talking about paranormal equipment and end up talking about squirrels.
Yeah, all sorts of things.
Yes, and it goes on for hours, and we kind of cover you kind of cover a lot of these things, and you have this subject. You know, you have a subject for each piece of equipment, and you have somebody in the chat where there's a conversation going on, which makes it an awful lot easier. Me here on my own, I was kind of going, oh, I've 18 people in the chat, I'm here on my own sort of thing.
Yeah, it's always nice when you got somebody in with you because you can bounce off each other and, you know, the ideas flow a little bit better.
Absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, you've probably seen that live stream a couple of days ago where I was kind of referring about the spirit box. You know, what was your impression of that?
Which one?
Where somebody had claimed that they'd done a series of tests and believed that the spirit box was unreliable, as it were.
Basically, well, I did actually comment on the video itself of the person who'd done it, and the way that the experiments, if that's what you want to call them, of the way they actually did it were seriously flawed anyway. The audio that they actually used, I wouldn't have even classed as spirit communication. To me, it was basically just random sounds. So it was obvious that pareidolia was going to kick in big time there. I think at the end of the video, it was a good video on pareidolia. It was far from a good video on whether spirit boxes actually work or not. Far from.
Yeah.
It's also interesting to note with that channel that they have actually based, you know, and I'm not having a dig at the channel, but, you know, that they have built their channel up by using spirit boxes, and now suddenly they've decided that they're not working, and rather than doing something in depth about it and taking weeks and weeks and weeks to research it, it just comes across that they've done a couple of quick experiments with dubious audio and then just totally debunked them for everybody else in the field.
Yeah. Just want to quickly say hello to Mama Cass. Very welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, we seem to get into a bit of a season of this kind of, equipment is crap. For some reason, I don't know what it is. Is it a scapegoat or something? I don't know. Or is it this power-hungry kind of thing that's going on? I don't know.
It makes I'm always wary when people do things like this because a lot of the time there's always ulterior motives that are not necessarily paranormal based.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, Sam. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's view chasing, sometimes it's sub chasing. But for somebody to extensively build a channel up based on spirit box evidence, and then to suddenly change the mind once they've got a big following, to me is always dubious anyway, because it always comes across to me that they've got somewhere else in the pipeline that they're going to try and push or whatever, but time will tell on that one.
Not very often, actually. Not very often we have somebody from Ireland. We have Paranormal Tech, but as far as I know, I very rarely have other people from Northern Ireland or Ireland. But we have Belfast City Ghost Fra Murphy. I actually seen some of your videos. Very welcome to the chat, and thank you very much for coming in. Yeah, I mean, like, that was, to me, I felt it was a personal dig at the ICT community, which is part of the paranormal community itself,
Oh, it was most definitely a dig at ITC and spirit, particularly spirit boxes, and it came across that it was a dig, but was present, but there was a lot of great pains gone into stressing it wasn't, which basically made me think that's what it was, if you know what I mean, Sam.
Yeah, because behind the scenes, a lot of these people in ITC, they don't make videos. They're very sort of very quiet, behind the scenes people, and they do put a lot of time into the experiments that they do. And very often, sometimes some of this stuff is not made public because they're afraid of people stealing their ideas, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally agree with you. But I always say to people, if you've got evidence, regardless of how incredulous you seem to think it is, put it out there, because I'm more inclined to believe the unbelievable, because people ain't going to tend to put themselves up for ridicule if it's something they've either faked or misidentified.
Yeah.
I think, I was, funnily enough, I was actually reading an article the other day on a couple in America who reported they'd actually been camping and were attacked by a talking bear in Bigfoot country. And that they went to the police and reported it, and people were laughing and saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. But if you think about it, who in the right mind is going to go to the police and say, we were attacked by this cryptid that looked like a bear and it was talking to us, knowing full well they're going to be set up for the ridicule of it?
Yeah. Chris Williams there has a good point there. Debunking the communication is like helping the spurs be hidden, which they already are. Why debunk something that pushes good questions? Yeah, I mean, like, evidence is being picked up with devices, and like everything else in the paranormal, we don't know how that this communication takes place. No more than we know how or who is communicating through heart radio.
See, the thing is, Sam, like I say, when these channels do these debunkings, you have got to look at the bigger picture with it, because you've got to find out what their motives are for actually doing this. Are they planning on using something new in the future that they've got, and they want to debunk everything else so they can push their own agenda forward? Or is it genuinely that they found proof that something doesn't work? I just find it a little hard to swallow that when people have had years and years of intelligent responses on a spirit box, they can suddenly turn their back on it in the matter of 4 or 5 little experiments in it, that were conducted over a matter of minutes, basically.
I think the person that we were talking about, I think a family member is responsible for making spirit boxes.
Yeah.
Am I on the right track?
Yep. Yep.
Second name is M.
Yep. You know, you have got to stop and take a step backwards and think, you know, the evidence itself is a bit dubious, but also what are the motives behind it? You know, why are they trying to do this? You've always got to take that into consideration as well. And I'm not saying there always is a motivation, but a lot of the time there is. So you do have to take into consideration what the motivation of these people are in the first place.
Order of magnitude just come into the house. Hello, Pertless. Sam, I'm reading the chat and reading the debunk of the spirit box. Listen, I have 1 in 20 sessions worth looking at, but those 1 in 20 tell me that it's just radio broadcast. Right. You know, but we do get our swear words, we do get our, you know, and this other team that comes live every week in that, and you know, they don't like the spirit box, that's fine, but for them to completely say that ITC is a load of codswallop isn't very nice for the people that's put a bit of work into ITC, you know.
I think Riley says he'll come into the chat, Sam, if you want to.
All right. If I can get the, that'll be cool. That'll be absolutely perfect. Copy, paste. I know this is a dodgy way of doing things, but I can choose to accept or reject somebody that comes into the pre-chat room, if you know what I mean. I put a link up there in the chat, Riley, if you want to come on. You know, but yeah, I mean, like you up until now have been using the PSP7, which I don't have out the PSP11 and that. And you recently bought the Roberts. What do you think of the Roberts in comparison to PSP7?
I've had some good, I've had actually had some good responses on that new Roberts radio. And Jace has been using it as well, and he got some good responses on it. The thing I like about the PSP7 is the fact you can vary the scan rate, which I have found that sometimes if you go into a location, sometimes a slightly slower scan works, or other times a slightly quicker one works. So you've got that bit more of an option with the PSP7. I actually really like the Roberts because of the fact of all the different bands it sweeps on.
That's right. Yeah.
It is a little bit quieter than the PSP7.
Hello.
Oh,
Sorry. Hello, Sam. Sorry to invade your stream and whatnot. Who's here with us on live stream? This is new to me, this stream. Hello, everyone. If you recognise me or not recognise me, I'm not a fame whore, I promise you. So who are we talking to? This guy seems to speak a lot of sense. But who we got? We got you, Sam, and who's the other guy?
We got Above Paranormal, Brett.
Above Paranormal.
Yes.
Oh, I know, but yeah, Diamond Geezer speaks a lot of sense. Hello, Above. How you doing, bud?
I know who you are. Okay.
Yeah, well, I've seen you put out a lot of content recently with some really cool live streams, a lot of good debate going on. I haven't joined in, but I have listened to a few of your streams and stuff. Yeah, keep it going. You're good. In fact, you supersede me big time. Keep it going. You kick my ass. Well done, bud. You're good.
So come on then, Riley. What's your opinion?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so what have we been looking at so far with the spirit box? What is the debunk? What is the main argument we've got here? What is the main argument that people are touting?
That basically it's all radio bleed over.
Ah, that's an old one, isn't it? All radio bleeder. There is one factor that comes into this, one factor, and that is place and world and what is allowed. Because this is a tricky one, because you're in the UK, ain't you, about paranormal? You've got an English accent. I swear you're in the UK. Yeah, so you know as much as I do what what our laws are in terms of what is allowed on the radio. You can't swear.
Yeah.
You all that kind of thing. So, all right. So, granted, I'm not one of these people that touts the spirit box is a telephone to the dead, because it really isn't. It's got a lot of flaws, and you've got to have the right mindset, and you've got to read, debunk, and really go over. This is why I throw away like 19 out of 20 of my sessions. I know a lot of people go, Riley, you're too much with that. You know, you've got something there that you're writing off, and I appreciate that, and that's beautiful, because I don't want to insult a lot of my people that go over my sessions and believe that there is something there when I may well write it off. When it's just so tricky, because I know I can insult a lot of people with this, but there are certain sessions that even I will go, no, hang on, you need to look at this, and these. Wow, I don't know if anyone's watched my channel trailer. It's like, I don't know, 4 sessions out of the, I don't know, we'll say 300 sessions I've done. These 4 I seem to parade around and be really proud of. And everyone's seen them, everyone's bored of even hearing of them. But to me, they show proof of intelligence. What are the chances of these things coming through? Now, how do I describe this? As someone who is an ex-taxi driver, okay, I used to spend a lot of time listening to radio, because as a taxi driver, there's a lot of times where I'd be bored out of my brain, waiting for fares to come through. But in the taxi business, there's a lot of waiting around, and oh my God. So after a while, I got very well accustomed to what shows were on at what time. And this means I was acutely aware of, I don't want to say like I knew every word that was going to come across, but every topic necessarily. But I'd be aware of what was around, especially on the AM bands. I found the AM bands very interesting for some weird reason. I'm a bit weird like that, maybe. So, when I took my PSP7, and you said you like the fact you could change the sweep rate and stuff, and yes, I do tout the magnitude mode thing. I don't want to blow my own trumpet or anything. It is a complete fluke discovery.
I use magnitude mode on the AM. Land of it.
Fair play, that's great. I don't want to have or earn anything off of that. It's just a fluke discovery. And that discovery came from a freaking broken dinosaur, in effect. Yes, broken toy or legit interaction with spirit. You decide. I'm happy with people saying, that's just a broken toy. It's just fluke that it goes off right. I'm happy to accept that. And I will accept that. That's fine. But regardless of the fact, I found the hack via that damn toy going off at the right time. Because I always thought when the PSP7 did that, it was just a cheap Chinese thing. I powered it up too soon or something or other. You know, I didn't put 2 and 2 together until the dinosaur went off and thought, oh my God, is that you? Okay, so try and lead back to my point. This is so difficult. I'm not very good at doing things on the fly.
Sam's waving her dinosaur around so people have got an example of what
Yeah, I did see that. I saw your video on the dinosaurs down. This is like a cult thing. Oh my God, I didn't want this to happen. Yeah, the cold dinosaur. Do you know what? There's only one of I don't want to change the topic. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep to it. The only other person who has managed to get a dinosaur go off on command in a one-off thing was Irish Steve, of all bloody people. No one else seems to have got to do that, and it can remain a debate of if, but we're talking about the fucking radio. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. There's just so much to talk about. Okay, so buzzwords. We're not allowed to swear on the radio. We're not allowed to say certain things. Okay, and I know my channel trailer, and these are the sessions I show off over and over. Everyone's bored of seeing them. I use them as a reference point every damn time. But you cannot tell me, you know. When I'm talking about streaming, you know, on this damn how do I describe this trailer about, okay, Spirit, I'm gonna talk about streaming, we're gonna talk about certain things, and it says, yeah, we'll talk about Jesus. Oh, the word Jesus comes through at the right time. The devil, things like, look, as an ex-taxi driver, I hear the radio all the time. I never hear the words the devil. I never hear the words Jesus. In America, these words are probably more prominent because I know they have Christian type
Well,
shows.
anywhere in the southern states and the Bible Belt, you're going to get that constantly on a spirit box.
You got it. Exactly. I was talking about Alabama. That's the one place I think of. Alabama. I'm really bad with my words on the live stream, so please bear with me. So Alabama, you know, they're very Christian oriented. They're going to talk about the devil and stuff like that. But in the UK, it's quite rare. You know, the words I've gotten, it's more than chance. Like I say, no. Okay, let's hit the bottom line. The spirit box, okay, it doesn't work like a telephone to the dead, okay? If you pick up your spirit box and you go to a well-known haunted area or your own home, you turn it on and you say, is there anybody there? 99% of the time, or 90% of the time, if we're going by statistics of what I've got, 19 out of 20, 1 out of 10, whatever, it's going to be a radio going round, around, around. And you need to be very clear and very concise that this is a fluke thing, you know? I don't even have to put these words right. You know what I'm trying to say about paranormal?
The thing is, Riley, the argument of its radio bleed through falls totally flat on its face when you are getting responses for 2 or 3 minutes to questions you were firing off. You know,
you just said it, 2 or 3 minutes. You just said it. Those 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, that's it. You got it. So 2 or 3 minutes. It goes in and out. It's like, okay, so we've got 2 or 3 minutes of like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What are the chances of back and forth? Those responses actually reciprocate to your question. They're dead on. They're the right answers. Yes, I know certain like answers can be an answer to anything.
Yep.
I am critical. I really am critical. I'm trying to be as critical as possible. But just look at that damn channel trailer, what I've got. Just look at it. And this is on a live stream as well. Yes, I've jump cutted it as in terms of like got rid of the crap in the middle. But there are also other sessions on there that are just as is for the first 5 minutes. But it's like 2 or 3 minutes. It goes in and it goes out. It is no telephone to the dead, the spirit box. It really isn't.
No,
okay.
See, the problem we've got in the paranormal community at the moment is because there are so many people heavily editing their videos, and you've got the likes of Most Haunted and Ghost Adventures. Joe Public has got the opinion that any paranormal investigation, you are getting stuff constantly. And if anybody has been on a paranormal investigation, they know it's the exact opposite. You can sit there for hours and get nothing.
It's not constant. No, in fact, like 80%, 90% of the time, 95% if you want to say 1 in 20. I can't really put. I'm trying to put a statistic on it, but look, I've got a lot of sessions. Like, always upload them, no matter the result. If it's a shit session, like I can say, oh, this is a shit session I've got, and there'll be some people out there that go, oh no, I heard this, I heard that, I heard. And I go. Did you? But I don't want to insult their intelligence. If they heard what they heard, they bloody heard it. And I say to people, like, everyone has a level about what they accept as evidence in terms of how loose. I'm not going to name channel names because that's unfair. But there's certain channels that are so loose. Well, I call loose. Is that the right phrase? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm like, nah, that's just fucking noises. Oh, the devil said I'm here. You know, like, how loose? I'm one of these people that really, really has to hear it. And this is why I respect someone like, I'm going to say his name. I'm not trying to shill anyone. I promise you, I don't get any money or any respect. I'm going to shill North Nottingham Paranormal, okay? There aren't many people that take my sessions. There are a few, and every time someone does that, I upload it to my channel and show them, and people can make what they want, okay? But North Nottingham Paranormal, loads of years experience, 20 years or whatever. But he has that critical eye to throw things, throw things away that are just, nah, that's nothing, you know? What you hear, you shouldn't. Right, okay. bottom line, you shouldn't need a subtitle to guide you. I
Yeah.
guess is the thing I'm trying to
Totally
say.
agree with you. I agree with you on that point.
Yes.
You know, the thing
I
is,
know I
I
really
always
words.
go by the guideline. If you've got multiple people there and they are standing different distances from a box, and they all hear the same thing at the same time, then you've got a good
Then that's a hit.
communication there.
That's a hit. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That's a hit. If you bingo. I'm really bad at words on live chat. I know. I usually do one take magnitude. Everyone takes a piss out of that. I hardly edit my videos. Obviously, not the spirit world sessions I'm on about in general.
Yeah,
I just saw this debate on live stream. I thought I'd just weigh in. You know, I promise you I'm not trying to take over the show or anything, but you know what I'm trying to say.
The thing about that I found with the putting the subtitle in is one, I was making mistakes, and two, people were not bothering then to use their headphones and make their own mind up, and that's why I stopped.
Yes.
That's why I stopped doing
Yes.
that, and I just let it run and let people make their own mind up.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes it's a tricky thing because sometimes, like, a little bit of look in this direction, you'll see what I see is there. How do I describe it? So yeah, you got the subtitles where I don't want to use his bloody fucking name because I've got so many videos. Half paranormal, you know, with the DR60 squeak squeak bubble bubble bank over devil is here subtitle.
Yeah, well,
Cover
they
that
picked
subtitle.
the DR60 deliberately to do that because they know it's going to do it at some point, and they can.
Yeah. It records the times, but there are channels out there. I'm going to name one because he's got more subs than me, so I'm not trying to, shill him in that front. But like, there are people like Diabolical Witness who actually use the DR60, and they are acutely aware of its fault of the recording of the internals. Okay, and he gets some EVPs, not always, like 1 in 10, all that sort of shit. EVPs can occur anywhere. It doesn't matter where they occur. If they occur, they occur. And you don't need that subtitle,
Yeah.
I did have a point.
You forgot
This
it.
is such. Yeah.
See, the problem we've got at the moment, Riley, is there are so many bad examples of spirit box sessions out there where people want to hear things, and the slightest thing that even sounds remotely like the words they're looking for, they jump on.
Yeah.
And this is why people have got to be a lot more critical and, self-evaluating when they're doing these spirit box sessions, because you don't always get what you want to hear. You may get communication, but it ain't necessarily going to be along the line of what you want to hear. And the biggest mistake people make doing spirit box sessions is they don't let the box lead the conversation. They try and make the follow their lead, and that is
the narrative. As always, I was trying to. You make a narrative. Yeah, definitely.
I just wanted to welcome Orbs Realm and Jam Bomb Banana.
Oh, Orbs Realm. Hello, Orbs. Okay, so I don't know how well Orbs Realm is known to this live stream. Orbs Realm is an interesting one. Okay, so I've not really had that much experience of Orbs, but subscribe to his channel is interesting because the first time you watch Orbs Realm channel, you may well be like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? There's some fakery afoot here. No. Seriously, I had to question the same thing. He's got a little laptop PC with a blinking light in the background, and you might think that's what's creating the damn orbs, but no. The orbs do exist because it's not just him I come across. There's another channel, I can't remember his name. No, David Williams. I don't mean the actor. Has a channel with a similar sort of thing. There are certain people out there that get these weird freaking orbs that come out of nowhere, and they are few and far between, and they are not created via, I don't know, some lighting or some dodgy setup. They just happened. I don't know if these people actually see these with their own eyes or not. Orbs Round will have to answer that question himself, but no, subscribe to Orbs Round. Everybody who's in the chat right now, just have a look at his channel and ask him questions, okay? Because he'll come back with nothing that'll make you think, oh my god, this dude's pulling something. Now, Orbs Round is a very good guy. Very good guy.
I was looking at Orbs Realm's videos yesterday, and when I was thinking myself, what is attracting those energies around him? Is it the respect? Because at the end of the day, when you look at those videos, they are very, very minimalist. Minimalist.
But yeah,
They're not overly edited or anything like that.
no.
This is the thing, Sam. You do find the channels that are more respectful in their approach to doing these investigations get the better results. I can't understand why the current trend is to run into a building, screaming your head off left, right, and centre, and being abusive to what you're trying to contact. To me, it seems counterproductive.
Yeah. I mean, like I've had to learn a lot in the last while, and one of the things about that was respect, not asking for the spirits or what we're communicating with to jump through hoops for no reason.
Jump through hoops, yes. No, definitely, Sam, definitely. Not being funny, right? Like I said, I was a full-blown skeptic, didn't believe in none of this crap, and I mocked it quite a lot when I met my wife, blah, blah, blah. I wish I went on YouTube earlier, but in that mindset before YouTube, I wasn't going to sell it out. I was just thankful that I had that experience and I wasn't going to sell them out. Fucking hell. But no. I in fact, even myself, I'm going to call myself out. I'm not respectful. I'm terrible. I'm always asking for jump through hoops, do this, do that. And my wife calls me out on it in her own, way. I'm too forceful. I don't get the results. I really don't. My sessions aren't really up. Yeah, I've got those few which I put on my montage on my channel, if you want to call it that. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm freaking terrible. I'm not respectful. I'm terrible. It's hard to get the right balance. But Orbs Round has a natural calm. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm really shit with words, but you know what I'm trying to say, yeah? You with me?
Well, Andy from Elemental Encounters, I think he's just come back on, hasn't he? He's another perfect example of it, and he comes from the face side of the paranormal. And he will be the first one to tell you, if you're looking to investigate anything Fae-related, the worst thing you can do is be insulted.
Anything what, sorry?
They will just literally go.
Anything what, sorry? Anything Fae-related? Oh, sorry?
Anything Fae-related to do with the Fae. As in fairies, goblins.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
That kind of
I'm with you.
That side.
Yeah.
But he will always be the first one to tell you, respect is it's tantamount. It's paramount to everything. If you've got no respect, you'll never get results.
I don't want to quote the guy that my channel gets the most view over. I'm not going to say it. Kill me. Hashtag love is the key, right? Right? Oh, oh, shit. Is that it? Oh, yeah, obviously respect. Obviously, you've got to understand. I mean, look, these entities, we don't know what they are. I always say, right, there are no absolutes in this. The only absolute we've got in this, something is answering back, and it has intelligence. Clearly, it does. But I don't mean to say it's a demon. It says it's a demon. Let me say it's dead. It does say it's dead, and they certainly ask for help. What are they? But regardless, we don't have any absolute. I'm talking about absolute, concrete, scientific proof. But clearly, there's enough clips out there to say to the scientific community, if they will actually listen. I know they won't because of obvious reasons. Come on, man, look at this. You cannot tell me this is not intelligence. You cannot tell me there is no intelligence going on here. This is not just, you hit the right radio broadcast at the right time. You cannot tell me that. Surely, with all those clips. Can you?
And this is my argument with what's been happening recently. You have got years and years and years of fantastic examples of intelligent responses on spirit boxes. You cannot, make a across-the-board claim that they're debunked based on a few experiments that you've done that you've conducted over maybe an hour.
Oh, you mean someone with a spirit box themselves? I mean, a hacked radio themselves. They've gone, hello, is there anybody there? Radio 4 DJ. Oh, okay, yeah. Are you sure there's nobody here? 79 to 100 FM. This is the biggest chart show. No, there's nobody here. There's no one here.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
You know, and
That's
that's what
your
they're doing
lot.
at the moment. You know, they're just doing a couple of little experiments, getting the results that they want to get, and then just throwing out a video debunking.
No, not being funny, okay, right. I'm not the only example, and I'm not trying to make myself a master. I assure you, I have no agenda, okay? Like I said, when I first met my wife, I was very skeptic. The first thing she says to me, by the way, something's here, but we all know the fucking account I've given over and over again, okay? But eventually, I got my own spirit box, which was the SP7. This is before I discovered magnitude mode or anything like that. And I tried, after the experiences I had, I've said about those experiences over, and it sort of died out, I think is the best word to describe. It got less and less and less. And then eventually, when I found out what a spirit box was, because I thought it was some sort of weird, complicated equipment, I didn't realize it was just a broken fucking radio. I eventually got one, and I tried calling out. I got nothing. I got nothing for a damn long time. We're talking 3 months, but I knew it existed because of the experiences I had. If I didn't have the experiences I had, I'd have given up. I'd have gone, nah, this is bullshit. This doesn't work. I think it's about, I remember sort of putting a time span on it. It was about 3 months. 3 solid months of constantly calling out. Hello, is there anybody there? I know you're here because you've done this, and the other. Nothing. I know, I do wonder if I had a spirit box back in the so-say day and called out, what results I'd have gotten. Would there be like, oh my God, those results are amazing. I can't have been the only human being in the whole of the Western Hemisphere or above that had those things that have happened. I can't have been. But my point is, I called out late or whatever, but it took 3 months for nothing. And the first response I actually got, the very first response was Adam. Oh, we got a name come through. Then I said, is your name Adam? This entity, whatever it was, and I realized I had made a connection of some description because it kept saying Adam. It didn't say Adam, how do I describe this? It didn't answer the question any other way. If I said like a yes or no question, it would say Adam in a higher voice, Adam in a low voice. I'm retelling this I sound like a complete madman. I know that's what it sounds like, but trust me, Adam. Does radio broadcast Adam? Yeah, once, twice, but over and over again. I was so happy that something was responding to me in the word fucking Adam over and over again. I had to get a bus to my job at the time, and I said, look, can you follow me to the bus? I kept asking questions while walking down the road. This is before I had a YouTube channel. I thought about even documenting this stuff. And Adam, when I got on the bus, I said, are you still there? Then I lost it. Adam was not heard again. And this wasn't just, oh, it sounds like Adam, you know, that loose. It was quite clearly what it said it was. And hindsight is a beautiful thing. 20/20 vision. You're a dickhead. The things that I experienced, the other time, you know, this sort of noble cause of, I'm not going to sell you out. I'm so noble that I have first-hand experience. This shit exists. Damn it. But then again, I cannot be the only person that has experienced this sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah, can I just interrupt you for a second?
Carry on.
I want to welcome Carrie Louise Henderson. She is actually responsible for me getting my channel the way it is, because she helped me out with a lot of the technical stuff like editing and things like that. And Paranormal White Noise is also in the house. Zara's in the house.
Zara, yeah. Zara's old school. Zara's been here since like the very, very early days. Hello, Zara. How you doing?
You know, yeah, you know, I mean, like, a lot of the time we don't always get positive responses. We're getting these negative things. We're getting demon, we're getting devil, and Satan and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like when I scan those channels through manually, there's no channels that are saying those kind of things. You know?
Oh, you're talking about like I mentioned that dude's name again, the bald-headed guy with big ears and the fucking decorated guitar and
Oh, yeah.
everything's nice and
But
lovely and beautiful.
Don't you think that demonstrates perfectly about how it can't be radio bleed over? Because you know,
Yes, swear words.
different channels. Surely not every radio station at that particular time is broadcasting something negative. You know,
Yeah.
you get a mixture of positive and negative stuff if it was just literally radio bleed over. But when you're in the middle of a conversation that is either consistently positive or consistently negative, to me that is proof that you know that it is not bleed over, because otherwise you'd be getting a mixture of all sorts as it's getting through the channels.
Yeah. This is it. It's no secret that I actively almost encourage ridicule or swear words, things like that, because I think it's the best evidence. Going back to the what's allowed to be broadcasted, especially in England, you're from England above paranormal.
Yep.
If you're receiving swear words, unless a DJ is having a full-on meltdown, he's going to be fired the very next day. I mean, that meltdown seems to happen quite a lot. There's a lot of DJs getting fired recently on my front. You know, I don't know.
I
You know
know
what I'm
people
saying?
use the excuse of after the watershed, the swearing, but you don't normally hear
I
it on
don't.
radio channels.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't explain middle of the
I
day
get that.
sessions
I
where
get that.
you get swear words.
Yeah, no, I get that. But like I say, as a texter, I used to listen to a hell of a lot of radio. This is before I was even into the paranormal, because I didn't really believe in it in the first damn place. This is, oh man, I wish I could just put people's eyes in my brain. I suppose everybody who's had a paranormal experience wishes they could do that. But no, after the watershed or not, irrelevant, you know? They don't, they don't talk or swear like that. It's not just, what are the chances of hitting shit, fucking, and, you know, all right, once, twice, maybe, or a DJ having a meltdown, but, you know, there are serious
A
punishments.
lot of the big stations now, they use the time use the time delay anyway. So even if
Yeah, I'm about to say that. There's a button they press, isn't there? So if you get a funny call, like if you have a late night calling show where some dick is trolling and they want to swear like tomorrow, they have a button they press and they hold and they, you know.
That swearing is gone before it even hits the airwaves.
Yeah. There was a channel on last week or the week before, and they says, well, the swear words could be a pirate radio station, but a pirate radio station is going to try and stay under the radar as much as possible. They're not going to bring attention to themselves by swearing uncontrollably, you know.
And to be honest with you, Sam, the vast majority of pirate radio stations are music based anyway.
Yeah. You
know, that ain't.
I mean, the experience I got at pirate radio stations is from the 90s anyway. I used to listen to quite a few of them, but they weren't. This day and age, the pirate radio stations that I used to listen to in a day play that type of music anyway now. But when I used to listen to pirate radio stations back in the day, I don't know, I sound old now, middle aged now, I guess. It was music based, as you said, about paranormal, you know. Turn on.
Purgatory Paranormal of New York is in the house. Thank you very much for joining us. Very good. Yeah, I mean, like it's you know, it's very, very interesting sometimes what comes up, and I've had on 2 occasions where my own voice came up, which is kind of strange, you know.
Sorry, sir. What in a spirit box session? You mean you had your own voice come back at you? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, on one occasion there was a witness. Rachel was actually with me when the two of us looked at each other and says, "That's your voice." I wasn't even conducting the spirit box session; she was, you know. Unfortunately,
I've got 1%. I'm on charge. I've got 1% Barry. So if I head out, I disappear. I have to come back later. But go again. Some of them are really interesting. Go. What are you trying to say to me here?
It's a rare phenomenon called mimicking, where person that is conducting the spirit box, their voice actually comes out on the spirit box itself.
I've experienced that. Yes.
Yeah, it's only happened to me twice, but it's pretty amazing. And you know, the first time it was Rachel. We were just messing around with the spirit box. You know, sometimes when you turn it on, you don't bother putting on the camera. We just turn it on, see what we get or whatever. I'm not expecting to get anything. And it was Rachel that was trying it out, and I was just sitting there listening, and that the next day the two of us looked at each other and says, "That's my voice," you know. And it happened a couple of weeks ago here in the house as well. So the thing about what I learned about spirit boxes is when you're going on a location, you know, you have this history behind this location or whatever. What I try not to do is try not to bring that history into the spirit box session. Try not to mention names and let the names come up naturally, because if you mention names, the names can be copied. If you say Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo can come up. Just like the time Mark Smith went into the woods and started going on about Slender Man. Slender Man, he was saying, "Is Slender Man here? Can I speak to Slender Man?" He was deliberately saying Slender Man, and Slender Man did come back. So, you know, whatever is communicating with us can copy us, you know?
Well,
definitely.
I've always said that whatever you're communicating with from wherever it's coming from, they're no different from people in general. You know, you get the people who are liars or particularly truthful. You know, you get the mischievous type of thing. So basically, you know, that's where the mimicking is coming from. If you're going to keep mentioning someone, you're going to pick someone eventually who thinks, "I'm going to start copying now just to let people know I'm around." You know,
like trolling, kind of. Is that what you mean? Like that? You mean like a trolling of the paranormal? Is that what you're trying to say? Trolling,
basically, you get paranormal trolls.
Paranormal troll. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know, not everybody who comes through communication is Mother Teresa. Let's be honest.
No. In fact, I think the opposite way around. I'll tell you what. In truth be known, I don't think I've really ever had anything that is not Mother Teresa come through. It's always been all right. It's no secret I actively encourage such things because I feel it's the best evidence. Like I say, not allowed swear words on British radio, so swears come through. Oh, look at this, guys! Look at this. They're swearing when you shouldn't have swearing. Blah blah blah. But I don't think I've really had. I have asked for it. Anything good out there? You know, I don't think I've ever had anything that isn't of naughty nature. You know, it's just mischievous. I don't want to say like bad, but you know, mischievous nature. I haven't had anything that's like angelic come through. I don't think ever. I don't know if anyone else has, but I haven't. I don't think. Granted, I encourage it, but you know, make of that what you will.
See, and I do believe, you know, people's general mindset and beliefs play a larger part in what they actually get through on the radio.
Yeah, possibly.
I think if you deliberately go looking for negative entities, there's a good chance you'll probably get them.
I probably do actively go look for it because there's say best evidence in terms of you're not allowed swear words, so swear words come through, blah blah, ergo must be something that is not of this realm, blah blah. So yeah, maybe I have asked for angelic beings. You know, it'd be nice to talk to something that's angelic for a change, blah blah. Never comes through. Usually nothing, but on the 1 in 20, like I was saying, the 1 in 20 sessions that have contact. Usually a bit naughty and mischievous, which is probably why a lot of those Christians out there go, "You're only talking to demons."
I've always stated I don't believe in angels and demons in the Christian sense, and I can
probably a clever thing.
I've never had a communication come through that mentions either angel or demon.
Probably a better thing to do, clever thing to do. I don't think I've ever stated like this is tricky. I never stated I don't believe in such and such, but I have said. Be nice to speak to something that's not bad. Are there any angels? It's usually like this is tricky because when I get nothing, like it's a radio going around. I usually resort to the tactic of, okay, nothing's coming through. Go on then. Are there any demons out there? Let's trigger the fudge out of you. Are there any baddies out there? Any evil? Like try and trigger it. Try and force it almost and. Well, yeah, usually that's when, not usually, that's not the right word, but, you know, the 2 out of 18, something comes through that's not necessarily nice. It calls me a see you next Tuesday. You know what I'm trying to
say? Mags is in the house, Paranormal People.
Ah, regular, yo. Well known.
You know, Yeah. Yeah, and anybody else that I missed, hello and welcome. Thank you very much. We're having a great conversation here. I'm just happy listening here because conversation is getting very, very good. And that,
Yes, go on.
you know, but yeah, you know, there's always when we're dealing with the paranormal, there's always going to be another mystery and another question and another question. And the further we dig into it, the more questions we have, you know?
Yeah, for every answer, there's like 2 extra questions that come out. Oh, paranormal, I guess.
Yeah.
Literally like shoveling filth, wading through.
You know? And I don't think we're ever going to fully get answers because people have been searching the paranormal for a very, very long time. And we only
There are those that believe like when you die, apparently you're going to get all the answers. It's not really a belief or a fear, more of a theory. When you die, I don't think you're going to get all the answers at all. What I do believe is you're probably going to get all the answers that are just relevant to your being and your existence. I don't think you're going to get any more than that. If you know what I mean.
The arm of the mindset. I don't think we will ever fully prove life after death. Anyway.
No.
I think there's mechanisms in place to stop that happening because it would just cause mass suicide and all sorts of.
Yeah, it would. Imagine if you knew the truth.
On the other side, that will prevent us ever being, you know, fully conversant in it one way or the other. I think there is actually some kind of natural block that stops us getting 100% proof.
Yeah, that's true. Imagine that if you knew the answers to life after. Oh, when you die, it's just bliss and whatnot, and someone's struggling with debt and all the rest of it. Well, fuck it. Let's, it's just a jump, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what. What's his bloody name? I can't remember his name now. Cult leader Kool-Aid. That guy. You know, it's just to walk across. It's just to jump across, isn't it? That's him. Yeah, it's just a quick jump across, no problem. Yeah, it would cause mass pandemic because it's easy.
Yeah, and I believe there's mechanisms in place that will stop that ever happening.
Yeah.
I think we may get proof, but I don't think we'll ever get irrefutable proof.
No. Well, yeah. No, you're probably right, actually. Yeah, but very right.
You were speaking earlier on about, the spirit box not being a telephone to the dead. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of these paranormal channels, they have people in chat, and there's people out there, and they're saying, we're going to communicate with Mary's mother who passed away a couple of months ago. And
they've got to do it within 48 hours. Remember, Sam?
And I mean, I know people are grieving and stuff, but my belief around the spirit box is I turn the spirit box on and whatever is around communicates. But I'm constantly getting the question, can you communicate with Michael Jackson or XXX? I got exactly that question a couple of days ago, and I had to try and explain.
For his last video, huh, Sam?
Yeah, and it's a pity that people's reality has been influenced by certain people that are making video advertisements for products. Like a film, and these claims that this is what this device does. It's a telephone to the dead. You can talk to your grandmother. You can talk to your aunt. I have somebody that is very, very close to me that died a couple of years ago. I called out to that person many times. Never once have I got any evidence to say that I've had communication from that loved one. In fact, 100% of the time I haven't a clue who's communicating at all. Never mind Michael Jackson or XXX.
The thing is, Sam, you've got to ask yourself, why would these celebrities want to come and visit some complete stranger and talk to them like they've been best buddies for years? Surely if they want to come back to anybody, they'd go to family and friends.
That's exactly.
Strange
And
as
Michael
they-
Jackson coming into this certain person's house, Michael Jackson probably most likely didn't know him when he was alive,
No,
you know. But you see the comment section. Can you contact Elvis? Can you contact this? Can you contact that? And it's the videos aren't monetized. The advertisements are still there. The links to the website is still there. The links to the merch and the mugs and the T-shirts and all that stuff. And it's very, very disrespectful. I think it's very disrespectful. But people's reality is influenced over this in the hope that they can talk to their loved ones because they are grieving. I would love to say that this could happen, but from the time I've been doing this, I cannot say that I can't give you any evidence to say that we can directly communicate someone that we plan to communicate with.
the thing is, Sam, this is why a lot of the con artists are so successful, because people, when they're grieving,
Heartstrings,
normal
isn't it?
rational behaviour goes out the window. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
It's a
desperate for any.
and this is what these people
Yeah,
rely on. They know exactly what
yeah,
to
definitely. Definitely. I mean, look. All right. Well, I've had people ask me, like, oh yeah, Mr. Magnitude, so honest in terms of like, does what he does with his sessions. Can you contact my brother or have a go at? And I've only had like 2 or 3 people ask me, and in private I've tried it, and I've not got anywhere. I've not got anywhere. I've given them the session. I've said to them, look, if you hear anything out of this, I don't even know what I'm fucking listening for, if truth be known.
Yeah.
But I've asked myself, I have actually uploaded it as well, about my wife's nephew who was hit by a train, and we always wanted to know the answer. Did he jump? Did he not? Did he do it on purpose, or was he wearing headphones that night and it was mist? That was the theory. And I asked in the comments, what did you hear? Because, well, we thought we heard he said he did, but it wasn't very, yeah. And it's like 50-50, some people said, yeah, I heard him say he jumped. And some people said, no, I didn't hear that he did anything of the sort, it was just a radio going around. And that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. But with people like, oh God, I don't like mentioning his name. Yes, they're the most watched videos on my channel, blah, blah, blah. But these people usually get the sound samples to match the narrative, so it sounds dead on. And if you're grieving, you're going to accept anything because, why would a nice man lie to you? He's a nice man. He's very nice. He's very down to earth and grounded, blah, blah, blah. It's such a tentative.
If you notice, Riley, they always like to wrap a little dose of religion in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do notice that. Well, what makes you say that? You're right, but what makes you say that? You are right, though.
It's because they think it validates what they're saying in some way. Because people accept religion and they consider their loved ones go to some god or another. If they wrap that little bit of religion in there, it validates what these people are claiming.
Well, because it's the main, how to describe this, what most people believe in. I don't know what the right phrase is to use, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It validates it. It adds towards the.
I just want to welcome Paranormal Drama Llama and Irish Whiskey Paranormal as well into the house. Thank you very much. Paranormal.
Who's the other one, Sam? I know Drama Llama. Who's the other one?
Irish Whiskey Paranormal over in the States.
I don't know. That's a new one to me. Hello, Irish Whiskey. How you doing? Hope you're well. I know Paranormal Drama, definitely.
Yeah. Paranormal Drama
Sing.
Llama was asking who is in the chat, and that is Above Paranormal
People.
and Order of Magnitude we have with us today.
People in the chat. Lots of people.
Lots of peoples. 15 miles.
Listen, I don't want to interrupt or anything, but I'm just stating now. I have 1% battery. I have a charger on. If I just suddenly disappear and like, hey, where's Riley's gone? He's just abandoned my stream. I haven't. I'm just on 1% battery. I may die. I may not. I am on charge, but just be aware. You know what I'm saying? If I don't answer your question, I've disappeared. That's why.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in about 5 minutes, Sam, because it's tea time.
Yeah,
Me too. I fancy some boiled eggs, so me too.
Starving.
yeah. I'll cut the stream in about 10 minutes or whatever. You know?
Oh, I'll hang on the 10
All right, done, Sam. Done, Sam. If I make it that long because the 1% while on charge, cool. If not, that's cool. That's cool. Brilliant, brilliant. We're all happy.
Really
Great.
appreciate both of you for coming on because it's a couple of weeks since I started doing lives again, it's a couple of weeks since I've done my last live, and I'm a bit nervous in that. And
No, you're welcome, Sam. So you bring some great. I've watched a couple of not all of your streams in their entirety, but I've watched not highlights. When I say highlights, I mean I've seen you stream a couple of times, and I've like fast forwarded to the middle and stuff and whatnot. I don't always comment. I actually watch quite a few people, but I don't always comment just because it saves face. Because I do have a lot of trolls as well. I don't want to bring that to certain people's channels and stuff. But you bring some good ideas, good debates, good discussion topics. That's the word or phrase. You really do. And I'm also very. This isn't the reason why I visit your channel, but I'm also very flattered that you do reference me quite a few times in certain things. But that's not the reason why I visit your channel. You got it sussed. You're cool. You got it all sussed.
When it's like this, Riley, a couple of years ago, I was subscribed to your channel, and I was subscribed to Mr. Huff, and I was completely amazed, and I wasn't.
Who isn't?
It was a conflict, so I unsubscribed, but then I came back to you, and because I was watching Huff Paranormal, and I was starting to pick holes in things. And then, you know, it started to make more and more sense to me, you know, and so God knows how many people that doesn't know the fundamentals of ITC are taken in by this false reality.
That freaking phrase, the fundamentals of ITC, is a dull and boring phrase, but it's fact. The fundamentals of ITC. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to do? It is a hard one to get across because it's so inert and boring to the most. You know, it's not exciting at all.
Yeah, but the general viewer wants things in black and white, and very often it's not fully the case, you know.
And they want it constant as well, Sam. That's the problem.
Yeah, and because certain people like that pull the God card, they got to have love in their heart. But anybody can pull the God card.
Love and light.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is with all these crosses lately. Did you see the B-roll from outside the window, and he's there holding on to this aerial thing? And if I was a neighbour next door and I just moved in, I would say to everybody else in the house, you know, pack your bags, we're going. We'll call the police later. There's something wrong here. Do you know, you see the B-roll of him in the window holding on to this aerial and that and going, and
it doesn't even need it.
Do you know, Sam, I always sit there and secretly hope that box will electrocute him when he grabs that copper.
Do you remember the time you went into the experiment and putting the wires in his head on the hat?
You're gonna reference that.
You know that whatever was going through there could have fried his brain. I don't know. It looked kind of odd anyway. I can't remember how long ago that was.
It's been like over a year now, I think. Yeah, it's been a while, but it's an image that doesn't leave you very easily. That's the thing. Like, I don't like references because, like, everyone's like, oh, you've done so many videos. I have done so many videos. Like, you know, not being funny. 90 videos is way enough videos. But granted, that's only 10% of my content, so you can look at it both ways. You know, way too many videos. Just fucking drop it for God's sakes. You do this because it gets you views. Yeah, no, they are my most watched things. So you could give that criticism to me. Of course you can, and I'll accept that criticism. At the same time, he keeps exceeding himself and the crazy. I'm like, I just got to report this. Like, Oh my God. There
The
are other
thing-
people. Yes, there are.
Yeah, the thing is, if he was a true researcher, he would have not all his eggs in one basket. I don't believe this is actually research that he's doing, but if he was doing research, he would be working on something completely different as well. And up until
Yeah.
now, we never seen a workshop. All I
No.
can see is that he has a tube of super glue in
A
the drawer.
screwdriver on a table.
That's why he's
A
doing
screwdriver just on the table and
Well,
like a hammer left there on the side.
look on the
doing
bright
his
side.
thing
Come
with it.
January, he's going to fall foul of copper anyway. He's going to be attacking the kids with all his crafts on his boxes.
Oh, it's a meme. It's just such a meme. Oh my God.
We're talking about now 6 or
Oh.
7 years with the same concept. And wasn't it
Yeah.
wasn't it Steve Holt, David, that first experimented with pedals? Is his name Steve
He
Holt?
might. Well, even before him, yeah, I believe so. There's well, not my latest video, my third to latest video as a dude who proclaims, that someone's plagiarizing them. Whether that's reference to Huff, I don't know. But the whole, it's a guitar amp, it's a pedal. Oh, decorated. That it's such a, oh man, I've done it to death. I really have, and I appreciate that if everyone's bored of it. Although some people say no, keep going because videos get old and videos get buried. I do want to leave it behind. I really do. I know they're the most watched and they're the most sort of entertaining if you just want a shit show, because it really is just a shit show at this point. It's done. I've done it to death. I don't. There are other people I want to do, but there's one person I really want to do. I don't dare say his name actually because he's a bit of a psycho and can make your life a bit. I do want to do him. I've got scripts and stuff in the pipeline. Like in the past few months, but not last week because I just don't want the hassle because I've got a lot on my plate and stuff. His name, I might divide your audience even if I say his name.
Right. I'm curious now, so I am.
Go on, say it.
All right, okay, you ready? So sit down and listen to this. You'll probably, above paranormal will just agree with me. He'll outright go, yeah, of course you do, because duh. But and Sam will actually, both of you will. But in terms of your audience, all right, I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna come out of it. Ready? You sitting down?
Yeah.
Hunting the dead.
Oh God.
I asked.
Oh gee.
What? I'm not familiar.
Really, Sam?
No.
You've never
Okay.
heard of Hunting the Dead, Sam?
He was just
I'm
gardening
curious.
one day, just doing his gardening as you do. You just gardening, do some gardening, and this suddenly appeared, and like wow, oh dear, and it's this different box just curved. That's so because these diamond dozens. There's so
Sammy,
many
he's
channels
really
doing this.
he's the third point on the unholy triangle. Believe me.
Because he's diamond doesn't. This is the thing. There's no one like Huff, is there really? Because of his the decorated guitar amp thing and what he sells. Hunting the Dead, there are a dime a dozen. I mean, even Proving Demons. I'm actually going to get a skit out that's going to be out due Halloween. But because of bad weather, I don't want to say laziness is not the right word, but in real life things I've had to deal with, I've not got around to it yet. There's Proven Demons episode where he found a load of dead graves, child graves, and he had this bread bin, this bread. I think you covered it. You covered it, Sam. Yeah, the book, the delivery, the bread bin, the bread box. That's a child's grave. No, it's not. That's what we deliver bread in. I was actually trying to get hold of one of those plastic boxes as one of my stage props and parody the episode myself.
You need to nip behind your local Asda or Morrison's, Phil, to grab one.
Yeah. Look at the yellow crate that you put bread in. Is that a cage for a grave? What the fuck are you on about? Guys, make in the comment down below. For comments. Is that a cage for a drink? I'm sitting there going,
It was to keep a midget vampire in the cellar.
I wish I recorded my reaction the first time I seen it. I was going, what the fuck?
Oh, stop. Hang on. Yeah, well, the plan was, and the plan still is, it's probably going to be out this Christmas. I am going to do it. It's just taking time, bad weather, and getting props together. I am literally word for word parodying that episode, but at my local cemetery. So I'm going to get stuck in a hole and pull myself out. The only thing is I don't have a sidekick other than my daughter. Maybe my daughter can play the part of Olivia. I don't know, but I'm parodying the episode word for word. Oh shit! It's terrible. It's terrible.
Irish Whiskey says KFC in the wall.
Well, that was literally what it was, to be honest.
Sure.
The only thing I will say, I mean, there's only one thing he gets a free pass. I mean, it's such a subtle free pass because some people say no, he doesn't deserve a free pass because, like, if you watch the video as it is. He makes out of it, it's all real. This is not staged. This is genuine, recorded as it happened. But if you click down his YouTube category, his actual category, like mine's people and blogs, Steve Huff is science. Shut up, Steve. Science. But he's
science.
Oh, so me in its own right. But Proven Demons is entertainment. He is J Station. He is entertainment. So, technically, but some people say no, he doesn't get a free pass because he pushes so hard on it's only if you dig, he covers himself by saying such. So, it's only because he started off wanting to be real and then he changed not want to be real. I whatever your opinion is, when this episode or this video I eventually get around to doing because of bad weather and props and stuff, just take it light heart. Don't take it too serious. Yeah. We all know. People who are serious all know. Sam, you've covered it, so we all know. Come on.
Yeah.
But at least he's not selling decorated guitar amps as real. It's not real.
If you can't find a bread crate, Riley, you can all get room dancing round with a bread bin.
Well, was Proven Demon. He was good at one point.
Yeah. This is the thing. Right, okay.
They all do. This is the problem. They all start off with the right intentions. Then they reach the point where money starts to come into the equation, and they just want more and more and more. And they find themselves it's a trap they can't get out of because they fake something. Then next time they have to get it a bit more sensational, and it's a never-ending trap they end up in, and this is why the states they are.
This is the thing. I get criticised because, let's be honest, the support I've got. I've had a car. All right, it's under $1,000. I've had a £600 car bought for me, and I've been we've been moved house to a decent property. Blah 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 blah. So I've been criticised for, you're doing episodes on Huff or whatever for the money. If the fact of the matter is this, when it comes to money on my side, I don't get supported quarter as much now because my wife is working now. I'm still doing my thing. So we are in work now. So I don't get anywhere near the support I had. I had a massive stage spat period, if you want to call it that, where things were going, very well for us on that front in terms of, a good earning and a living. But today, in this day and age, I don't get supported anywhere near. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. It's not
haven't changed from when you started, Phil. That's the difference.
There's
a change with a lot of them.
No, I haven't changed or anything like that. No. I get what you're saying. Proven Demons, he was real, and his motto was the same as everyone else's. In fact, he contacted me. He contacted me when he was, had like 4 subs. Like, oh man, this is amazing. Your ethos. I do spirit box sessions, and this is what I got. And when I first saw his channel, I was like,
he's gone, isn't he?
I think he's gone. I think his battery's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
This has turned into quite an interesting discussion, Sam.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And in fact, the first time I've ever spoke to Order of Magnitude face to face, it was always through comments and stuff. And very often when I made a comment on his video, it was basically a book, you know. But you know, it's
You all starstruck, are you now, Sam?
yeah, but you know, it's I mean, like, if it wasn't for Order of Magnitude, maybe I would have been still influenced by hope. I doubt it. I was starting to pick holes anyway, you know.
Yeah, I think you've got too much common sense to have carried on believing in all that nonsense, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the simple things that people need to see is that, you know, when you ask a question through the spirit box and then you get a jump cut, anything can be put in its place as a response. And very often it's a big jigsaw.
See, this is why I said to you the other day, Sam, I would rather watch 3.5, sorry about the dogs barking, 3.5 hours of a continuous investigation than 30 minutes of over-edited video any day.
But it's like the other night, I put up 3.5 hours of everything that I recorded in Cumber House, and we ended up with very, very few people after the 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I stuck it right to the end.
Yeah. You know, people want parts of it cut out or whatever. The big thing is there, you could cut out something and there could be an EVP embedded in the audio.
Yeah.
And you'd hardly even notice unless you put it through audio analysis or whatever.
The thing is, Sam, how many videos have you put out there, and then later in the comments people have said, did you notice such and such at this time? You know, because even the best of us miss them.
It's still happening with my older videos, and it was happening in my Explore videos where I wasn't even doing paranormal investigations, where people were picking up stuff, and then I was saying, listen, I need to look into this a lot more. So I went and started researching back into paranormal investigations, you know. Yeah. Nikki Nonu's in the house. Hello.
Hi, Nikki. I think we're going off shortly because we're all going
to go off in a few minutes because we said we were going to give it 10 minutes about half an hour ago. Yeah. You know. But massive thanks to Order of Magnitude for joining us, and massive thanks to Brett. If you don't know Above Paranormal, do very, very good live streams and very, very interesting topics. And you do the card readings as well, very, very good card readings.
Yes, I've started doing them every Sunday now.
Yeah, I mean, like, the amount of paranormal content that I actually look at now is drastically reduced.
Sam, I did it about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I literally went through all my sub list and cut out all the ones that weren't actually paranormal related anymore because it was just getting too many people to keep watching. Yeah,
Order of Magnitude says he lost battery, but he's back. You know. We're going to finish up now anyway in a minute. So, but massive thanks to Order of Magnitude and Brett for their feedback and their conversation. It was very, very interesting. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I was pretty nervous at the beginning of this stream. It says, how am I supposed to keep it?
It's actually nice when you get somebody on because then it turns into more like a conversation than a stream. And you forget that you don't feel so pressured to keep the conversation rolling.
Yeah.
And then once Phil gets on, you don't need to keep the conversation rolling.
Yeah. But Riley has he likes to talk.
He can talk for Britain, that one.
Oh yeah. And there was people in the chat saying, Sam's not getting a word in edgeways. I didn't care. I was just listening. It was great, But massive thanks to you both for a brilliant stream. It was really,
You're
really
very
good,
welcome, Sam.
you know. But I'm going to finish up now, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for joining us. We had close to 20 people at one point, which was absolutely fantastic. I want to thank you all. I'm going to try and make this a regular thing if I can. You know, I have been sick on and off. You know, I've been sick on and off, and sometimes I wasn't even fit to come on live and stuff like that. But if we can make this a regular thing, it would be great, you know.
Yep.
And it keeps the community together as well, you know.
Yep, it certainly does.
You know, and for me personally, to have a huge channel, I don't think it would be such a good thing, because you lose that sense of community, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to keep it where you know everybody who's on there, or you know, at least remember people when they come on.
Yeah, I like to talk to everybody when they come on and say thank you for coming on and that. And when you have a lot of people in the chat, sometimes you'll miss out people, you know. And it's no disrespect to them. It's you know, everybody's welcome as long as everybody's respectful and stuff like that. And I normally don't have very much problems on the chat, you know. Yeah, I do have moderators. I do have a lot of moderators, and we have one or two problems, but not generally, not very much, you know. But massive thanks to Brett and Riley for coming on. This was a very, very good stream, and very, very good conversation around ITC and most notably Spurt boxes and the views on those, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll finish up now, and you know, I want to thank everybody again, and
Thank you all.
yeah, we'll see you next time, folks, and make sure you keep in touch with Above Paranormal to do regular live streams. If you aren't subscribed to Order of Magnitude, please consider doing so as well. You've got Paranormal People there as well. Mag, she does regular live streams. Be in touch with her as well. So I will leave for now, folks, and thank you very much for everybody.
Bye.
Bye. How do I leave? Oh, end broadcast. Okay, right. See you, folks.
Are you off?